You're watching McKinney Vision. Online, on air.
Hi, I'm Amy Rosenthal, and welcome to the winter edition of City Limits, Discovering McKinney, where we show you the best, most unique things to do and see here in McKinney. So on today's show, we'll explore McKinney's storied history, and it's only natural that we start off here in downtown McKinney. This area has been the city center for over 160 years, and there is a lot to do and see, especially if you know what you're looking for. If you could go back in time in McKinney, you would find that cotton was king, not only growing the crop, but also processing it. And sometimes a whole year's worth of work came down to a sale of just one bale.
Cotton got about 6 inches tall, and corn didn't even sprout that year. And we picked 15 acres to get one bale, a 500-pound bale of cotton. And that was all we made that year. And Mr. Bass got through the paperwork, and he asked us if we'd take it down to the compress, so where the compress would ship it out. We told him we would, and so he paid my dad off, and he gave him one little coin. It was a $20 gold piece.
The gins, that's where the cotton farmers would bring in the cotton, the seed would be stripped out, and then the compresses is actually where they compress and get cottonseed oil, which could then be used for a variety of other products. So they were able to actually make more money of it. As a matter of fact, over to my right in some of the buildings, that's where some of the cotton salesmen would look out their windows, and there was even a bulletin board in, I believe, the building directly behind me that had cotton prices that you could see London and Boston and just cities all over the world where cotton was being exchanged, and they kept tabs on all that.
In the not too distant past, McKinney's historic downtown was known for its antique shopping. While there are still many antique treasures to be found in shops around the square, storefronts that used to house cotton businesses now host 4-star restaurants, charming boutiques, spas, and retail shops of every variety. Reusing century-old buildings retains our strong connection to the past, and it makes good economic sense too.
The thing is that the quality that's put into the building, the way the building is constructed, it actually lends itself to rehabilitation very easily. You're looking at buildings, especially say like if you take downtown, they're only about 25 feet wide, some may be 50, but they're about 100 feet long, but they lend themselves, they're highly adaptable.
So when it comes to quality of life, McKinney's park system has always been a focal point. We cherish the time that we get to have fun with recreational activities in these beautiful natural settings. But as the city has grown and our lifestyles have become more harried, we really need a chance to relax in a serene setting. Our parks, recreation services, and open spaces are as vital to the city as our historic heritage. As more and more residents flock to the city, the park system has grown to accommodate recreational settings to fit virtually any lifestyle.
You know, it's my pleasure tonight to get to represent the park board at this ribbon cutting. You know, when I came to McKinney some 50 plus...
George Webb is considered to be the father of McKinney's renowned park system. Originally, he felt that the parks were important for safety and family development.
You can go down there and walk around Town Lake, and on a pretty day, there are lots of people down there walking around Town Lake. And in my mind, I think a lot of them live in small apartments, and it's an opportunity to get out and like see the squirrels and see the trees. And it's great for people who live, you know, in small apartments and a place to get out. But at the same time, you can look over at the baseball fields and they're full of kids doing activities.
It's hard to believe that McKinney is now only 1/3 developed. Part of the challenge for city leaders is to obtain 25 acres of land for every 1,000 residents as parks and open spaces for recreation, sports, and annual events, like the annual favorite, the Trout Derby.
Something the parents do with the children. You know, the kids come down and fish, and the parents come down to teach them, because you take a father that's a fisherman, it's an opportunity for him to spend some time with his child, you know. And it's created an interest from the families in what the children do, like in the recreation facilities.
Our final stop on this winter edition of City Limits Discovering McKinney is Chestnut Square Historic Village. This unique group of McKinney buildings is just a few steps away from downtown McKinney, but it takes you back over 100 years in time. Chestnut Square was established as a living history, preserving the charm of life in early McKinney. The historic village has moved and restored authentic buildings and homes to showcase and educate current residents about the way things were in McKinney's past.
Several of the buildings here at Chestnut Square were condemned and were going to be torn down for the courthouse that was going to be built on McDonald Street. And so these ladies really captured a part of McKinney's history and moved it to these 2 blocks, 2 acres. And we've got some really interesting history.
Events show off the spirit of a different time. They help retain the strong tie to McKinney's past that is vital to our authentic historic district.
And our living history programs are really about bringing historic traditions back to life. We have a Civil War Days in the spring. We have a fashion exhibit in the spring.
Chestnut Square's Farmers Market sells local goods and produce, an old-time concept that has found new popularity in a historic setting.
Our premise was that we wanted to bring back the old-fashioned way of shopping and eating. And so we only have people who grow their own product or make their own craft items, and they come out here on a Saturday morning from 8 to 12 and they sell their wares. And it's become a really popular destination for people from throughout North Texas to come on a Saturday morning and shop. And so we decided, well, we need to do the same thing on the west side of McKinney. And we chose the Adriatica site because it has some historic significance. And we have that market day on Thursdays from 11 to 7. Many of the same vendors, a few different vendors, but the same philosophy that they're all locally grown products.
Well, that's it for this edition. For more information about our city and for archive shows, visit www.mckinneytexas.org. I'm Amy Rosenthal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on City Limits Discovering McKinney.